Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Hey guys, Bix Weir, roadroad.com. It is November 1st, 2023. A lot of people expecting a lot of things in the next couple weeks. I too am expecting some turmoil. But who knows if that will affect markets, because markets are rigged. But really interesting, I had a discussion last night with a whole bunch of people about silver. Surprise, surprise. And they know nothing. The 99.9% of the world knows nothing, of the investing world, knows nothing, zero about what's going on with silver. You could talk to them about, hey, you see solar panels, everybody's getting them. They understand that. They see them going up on their neighbors' houses. They don't understand what that means for silver. They say, oh my God, have you seen all the Teslas around there, all those electric cars? They see that. They don't understand how silver is affected by that. All they know is, some of them know the silver price. Well, why would you got me to buy silver and now it's not doing anything? It is sad that this is the mental conditioning that companies like JP Morgan, the Fed, the BIS, they get you into this state where they dumb you down. They literally dumb you down so that you don't think when you're investing. All you do is look at price. That's all you do. And if they can control price, they can control the amount of people interested in a certain asset. It happens so many times. I'll get to cryptos in a second. You know, the whole FTX thing, which he's going through his trial right now, and Gary Gensler's participation and truly the setup of DeFi to go up and then pull the plug. It was 100% planned. And Gary, don't tell me that you didn't plan this. You obviously planned this to create an artificial bear market. They do it all the time. Artificial bear market. And they did it in silver in 2011. Jamie Dimon ran the price of silver up to $50 and then slammed it down. I mean, it's so obvious to see when you stand back. Trump actually busted Jamie Dimon for doing that. They didn't talk about the consequences. All they said was, oh, they were just, they were spoofing. And Jeff Christian said, that's not really market rigging. That's bullshit if it's not market rigging. Tens of thousands of instances of spoofing just for nothing. It didn't affect price. It's bullshit. Anyway, but yeah, yesterday I talked about some of the obvious things in the World Silver Survey, the Silver Institute's annual report. And I was talking about, mainly the solar panels, how they have their numbers so far wrong right now. They're saying the forecast was for 2023, 161 million ounces. It's going to be over 200 million ounces, just based on what's going on now. We're 10 months into the year, and we've already blown by 161, most likely. I don't have the exact silver numbers, but solar panels are going crazy. Massive installations, production, all that. And there's a reason for it, too. If you look at solar and you look at all the renewables, there's a push to have renewable energies be the number one source of power. Can we do that in the United States or around the world? China is installing solar panels everywhere. China is much larger than the U.S. as far as installing solar panels. But the U.S. is, we got the Biden craziness saying, hey, damn the analysis of what the industry can handle, what's economically feasible. I mean, they're putting wind turbines out in the ocean that are not economically viable at all. We're just wasting money because there's government subsidies on it. As a matter of fact, there's a good article today on Zero Hedge. World's largest offshore wind farm developer abandons 2 major U.S. projects. The government is pumping money into shit that is not economically viable. Now, solar is probably the most economically viable, and it doesn't have to be totally financed by the government. Individuals can install solar panels in their house. So there's a lot of places that this is continuing to grow, and that's why it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're projected out to 2050 to use 100% of the silver. 100% of the silver. Now, tell that to your iPhone. Tell that to your computer. Tell that to every electronic car. Every car out there has massive electronics, not to mention what's going into the electric cars. The amount of silver going into just regular cars these days is massive, growing exponentially just like the electric cars. But Bix, look at the price. It's less than 50% of its all-time high. Well, thank your government. Thank JP Morgan. Thank Alan Greenspan's original computer programs to run every market back in the 70s, and they're still running those same damn programs today. What are they doing now? They're playing with the moving averages right here. Look, why do you think we're bumping up against them? Because it's the same game every time. But how long will it last? I don't know. I mean, any billionaire can take in the whole game with a blink of an eye. Any billionaire. Buy $1 billion worth of silver. Destroy the unbacked fiat monetary system. That's how weak we are also. In the eyes of China doesn't want to mess with it. Hell no. They're kicking our ass because of what we're doing, because we're rigging markets. All the rich people are soaking up as much silver as they can. And if they're manufacturers like Elon Musk, if you don't have silver, you don't have your company. The biggest risk to Elon Musk is not government regulation. It is the lack of availability of physical silver to run his solar company, his electric car company, even his space company. And you don't think that guy's smart? Go check out the Joe Rogan interview he just did. Great interview. He goes, why do you regret buying Twitter? Why'd you buy Twitter? Elon just sits there for a while. He goes, I had to save humanity. And it's true. Imagine. And he talked about, the leftists that ran Twitter ran the whole gamut. And how San Francisco and Berkeley really controlled Twitter, which is the far left of the far left. Everything else is, oh my God, I can't believe it. And that's what they were spreading their ideology, along with Sam Bankman-Fried was knee deep in that stuff and the little kid stuff. Look at his little monikers. I know. But his parents, oh my God. Sam Bankman-Fried's parents, are you kidding me? Deep state all the way leftist. All the way, you know what Jenny says will free silver once this thing needs to be freed. Which has to do with children. And I'm not even going to go there, but yeah, knee deep in it. All right, so what I want to talk about today is we can pretty much say, yes, the solar use of silver in solar panels has become the number one use that, a single application type of thing. And you could say, well, electronics are more. Yeah, but that covers everything. I mean, in electronics in this, there's 382 million ounces used in electronics. Like 50 or 60 is just automobiles. Electric vehicles and regular automobiles. And that's going to grow. But the vast majority, which is 140 last year, 140 million ounces, and it's going to be over 200 million ounces this year, is my prediction. Over 200 million, maybe a lot over. Here's a report, for example. This is the kind of stuff we're dealing with. This is the International Agency for Renewable Energy, right here. Put out this report just yesterday, and COP28 President Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber said in the report, quote, tripling the deployment of renewable power generation and doubling energy efficiency are among the most important levers to cut greenhouse gas emissions. I am now calling on everyone to come together, commit to common targets, and take comprehensive domestic and international action as outlined in this report to make our ambition a reality. IRENA Director General Francisco de Camara added, quote, our mission is as clear as it is urgent. We need concerted action to triple renewable power capacity by 2030. This includes urgently addressing deeply entrenched systemic barriers across infrastructure, policy, and institutional capacity stemming from the fossil fuel era. So they're going to triple it. They're going to print money and they're going to triple it. So what does tripling solar power do? If what I say is correct, this is in 5 years, and we go over 200 million ounces this year just for solar panels, and they plan on tripling it within, that would be, 6 years, tripling it. That's 600 million ounces for silver by 2030. 600 million ounces just for silver. It's impossible. I hope everybody understands that. It is impossible. Now they think, oh no, there's plenty of above ground silver. Well, first of all, silver is not rising. The price of silver is not rising. So why would anybody in their right mind sell their silver? Silver's rigged. So they're expecting to get $23 silver for the next 6 years so that solar panels don't become unaffordable. How much does it cost? There's another question. How much does it cost to make a solar panel? Right here. A solar panel with a capacity of 250 watts might cost between $175 and $250 to produce. Let's just say $200. What happens if the price of silver goes to $600, as I expect, really fast, and then more? $600 silver is about a half an ounce of silver in each 250-watt solar panel. That's $300. So it would more than double the cost of solar panels. But remember, governments are printing money to triple the size. It is so insane. Like I said, price doesn't mean squat diddly when you're talking about silver. So what I want to do is look at this. So the Silver Institute, I don't know if they're dumb or they're corrupt or a little of both, but what they're doing is they look at the things that are obvious. Obviously, they got the solar panel estimates way wrong last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. So I have to keep moving it down. But they got it so far wrong that they look at the next year and say, oh my God, we got it wrong by a significant amount. Should we raise our estimates? No, they brought them down 28% in 2022. And they're saying, oh, it'll be half that at 15% for next year. What are you thinking? You got the renewable energy agencies, all the governments in the world agreeing to fund and give subsidies to triple the amount of solar panels over the next 6 years. And the Silver Institute says, oh, no, it's going to be cut in half. So again, are they criminal or are they dumb? What I think they're doing with this is that they don't really know. But they don't know a lot of this stuff. So they put plug numbers in. Mine production, you can pretty much figure out. Recycling, you can pretty much figure out. Hedging supply, that's a non-issue. Official sector sales, I don't know where those are coming from, but they just make them up maybe. Not many official sectors have any silver. But the demand, because they know they have to raise silver by 15%, that means they got to take away from everywhere else because mine production isn't changing. As a matter of fact, mine production they got it wrong here again. I think it'll be closer to 800 million ounces instead of the 842. They had it rising 20% just because of mines that have shut down. It's just not profitable to mine. And there's all kinds of issues in Mexico because Mexico's finally getting their shit together and saying, we don't want to really sell any more silver to export it. Okay, so you got a problem. You got photovoltaics that they try to hold back, but they really can't. So they say 15% increase, which got them to 161 million ounces. That means they got to take away the demand side for everything else. And did they do it? Absolutely they did. Look at it. In industrial, they're going from, this is including the solar panels, they're having a drop in percentage of rise for 2023. Even though they know everything is going up because silver's so cheap. It's not going to stop anybody from making electric cars or even solar panels. Yes, $600 silver would slow this down. It wouldn't stop it, though. The only thing they have going up is brazing alloys and solders, which is tiny. They could do that. It's like they fake it. Which ones can we fake that we can get away with? Other industrial, they got going down. But why? Because they have to. Photography, they got going down because they have to. And I wouldn't argue with the photography one. There's still a lot of silver used in photography, but not anything close to what it used to be. And it used to all go into recycling, so it didn't matter. But here's where it gets really squirrely. So in 2022, there was 234 million ounces of silver jewelry. That's a massive amount. I think that's got to do with China importing, or India importing 300 million ounces. I don't know. I mean, that would envelop the whole thing. So, but they have it going from a 29% rise to all of a sudden a 15% decrease. I mean, where do you get that number? You just pulled that out of your ass. But because they needed a big drop. So that dropped from 234 to 199. That's where these next three are where they say, okay, we got to make up for the solar panels, so we got to do something. The next one is silverware. They got dropping, no reason, from 80% increase to a 24% decrease. It's not as big, from 73 to 55, but they need to drop. Otherwise, the numbers don't match. And then the big one, net physical silver investment, they're dropping by 30 million ounces. Why? Now, why are they dropping? Of those three, they've dropped, let's see, 34, 54, and about 75 million ounces is coming out of there. Of those last three, 75 million ounces. Why? Give us a reason why jewelry is going to go down. Why silverware is going to go down. Why, especially net physical investment is going to go down. The reason is they have to, all these numbers have to match, or they end up with a market imbalance even bigger than what they had before, which they missed massively. I mean, the imbalance last year went from minus 50 million ounces to minus 237 million ounces. And they have that going down to 142. And why are they doing that? It's because of those things. They're subtracting so much from silverware, jewelry, and that investment. They just had to pull it out. It had to, you couldn't, if you're them, you can't have it staying the same or increasing, because that would mean the entire silver world is imploding. If the numbers don't match, what is supposed to happen? The price of silver is supposed to go up through the roof. But the price of silver is not going through the roof, so we have to have the numbers match. I wonder who signs off on the final report every year. Probably Jeffrey Christian. At the behest of JP Morgan and all his favorite clients. So this is just completely off, completely wrong. And they believe, how is the net shortage going to be covered on the industrial side? They believe it's going to come out of the investors' holdings. And you could pull out 500 million ounces from SLV if JP Morgan has it. You just shut it down and say, oh, force majeure. We got a war, force majeure. I don't want to say I guarantee that's going to happen, but I pretty much guarantee that's going to happen. If you have SLV, you are crazy. Or PSLV, or any of them. All of them, because of the war, this is how much they needed a war. Biden couldn't run in the next election. We need a war. The silver problem is all over the place, and everybody knows now that the rigging on the COMEX is the most criminal, corrupt thing in the history of any financial markets. As far as I can tell, it's been going on for 170 years. And people are starting to find out about it. What happens? You have these massive deficits. And how do you cover the massive deficit in demand? You got to find it somewhere. Let's shut down SLV. So keep an eye on that. And they'll slam the price. Oh, we had to shut down SLV, so 500 million ounces had to come into the market. Yeah, $23, what's that? 11.5 million, no, 12.5. $12.5 billion. You don't think Elon Musk has that money? He does. Warren Buffett, he does. Apple Computer, who needs these things? They do. It's gotten to the point of so ridiculous that when I go out and talk to people about silver, the only thing they say is, oh, my silver investment, it's never gone up. That's true, it hasn't. And then one day it'll go up and you'll want to buy some more. and you won't be able to get any. Silver will become unobtainium very fast. You won't be able to call up Andy Schechtman and Miles Franklin. Say, I don't have any. I don't even know when I can get it. Your local coin shop. I don't have any, but if you got some to sell, I'll take some. Any price. Any price? Yeah, any price. Why? Because nobody wants fiat money anymore. The banks go down. No one even could make change. These industries won't even be open for business. That's what we're teetering on right now. It is so important to be on the sidelines, assets in your own possession, ready for the crash, and then ready to move forward with sound cryptos and sound gold and silver. And it's hard to find sound cryptos when you got guys like Sam Bankman-Fried and Gary Gensler working together with Mark Wetjen, the CFTC guy who worked directly for Sam Bankman-Fried, along with a few others directly from the regulators, to build this bubble, the DeFi bubble. This was like the heart of the DeFi bubble. There were many, many, many companies. I remember going on Litecoin Lisa's show and arguing with Lisa and Johnny Litecoin about some DeFi currency that they end up putting all their crypto in because they're going to get triple back. I go, that's not how these things work. That's a definition of a Ponzi scheme. But no. I think Lisa pulled some out, but I don't know if she lost some. It was crazy. The DeFi was a joke. It was always a joke. There's no way the regulators are going to allow it to happen. They just gave it enough room to build the bubble. Then they pulled the plug, say, okay, we're coming down on cryptos now. And who's sopping up all the good cryptos now? JP Morgan and friends. And you can blame this guy, Sam Bankman-Fried, but if you're going to blame someone, blame his parents. Blame Caroline Ellison's dad and mom. Dad was Gary Gensler's boss at MIT when he was teaching cryptos. I mean, it all fits together. It's all obvious. And crypto people got screwed, especially the newbies. I'm getting so rich off NFTs. Non-fungible tokens, amazing technology. It's a smart contract, basically. Smart contracts are going to change the world. It's just applied towards Beanie Babies is not going to change the world. It can change the auction world of, how to auction off a Van Gogh for $50 million. You can have smart contracts and you split it up into 50 million different pieces. That's an amazing technology. Creating a cartoon of a gorilla with a banana is nothing worth a decent amount of money. And people were buying and selling because the price was going up, because they were buying and selling. Not to mention all the fraud that was going on the exchanges for NFTs. They can run up anything, and you didn't end up buying it because it kept going up. And then all of a sudden, oh, wait, I had this asset I bought for $10,000, my life savings, and a picture of a whatever, a cartoon, because it was going up, and now it's worth zero? I don't get it. A fool and his money are soon parted. That's a classic quote. Anyway. So Bloomberg has this original movie that they did on what Sam Bankman-Fried was. They didn't go into the truth behind it. Who was in charge of it. They barely talk about his parents, who are, oh my God, 50 times worse than he is. I mean, you talk about deep state political operatives. That's what they are. All this crap going on with Trump, trying to throw him in jail for stuff Biden does every day to the nth degree. That's Sam Bankman-Fried's dad. That's what he was advocating on his radio show at Stanford. He's the lawyer who's like, okay, here's how we can get Trump. So it's all interconnected, and it's all falling apart, which is great. But definitely, Sam Bankman-Fried belongs in jail, but his parents belong in jail for probably more than jail, truthfully. Anyway, cryptos are, Bitcoin's up at 34,000. Again, I don't know what's going to go on during the chaos of the banking collapse. Of course, nothing will be traded during the banking collapse. It might take a month, 2 months, 6 months. And then what exchanges might start up again? Probably not this one. CoinMarketCap is owned by Digital Currency Group. complete no. That's a no-go for me. And they own a lot of cryptos. That's the deep state people. Not a fan. So this, at least the reporting, you notice that many cryptos have been busted for selling securities, according to Gary Gensler. None of them have a warning over them other than Veritasium. One of the things is that with Veritasium, see, there's a warning. The SEC has filed charges against Reggie Middleton and Veritasium. None of them have that, even though many have been charged. CoinMarketCap is infringing on Reggie's patent as well. It's amazing. Reggie should go after them, but he's busy. He's got Coinbase on the hook right now. The patent judge has said Coinbase tried to get the thing thrown out because Reggie's lawyer died. His patent lawyer died. I don't know if there's any foul play or anything, but Reggie's like, what do you mean? The judge is like, what do you mean? You can't claim that Reggie has no stake in this just because his lawyer died. So yes, it is crazy. The world is crazy. Like I said, get your assets. Take your ball back. Bring them. Sit on the sidelines. Do not participate in markets. Keep minimum money in the bank account, your checking, the savings, 401k, all that stuff. If you're having issues with your 401k, contact Will Lair at Perpetual Assets. PerpetualAssets.com. Might be able to get you into a self-directed IRA. I don't know these days. We're running out of time, too. But, hey, if we're running out of time, your assets are gone anyway. So you might as well try to transition them. Yeah. Theta's making a little move, over 70 cents. Theta is the future of so much, but that's why it's being held down. It is so massively disruptive to so many companies that are in this space. To Sony, I'm saying Google Cloud, goodbye. Amazon Cloud, goodbye. The whole cloud infrastructure is not needed. Everybody can do it on their own edge node on every computer. It's a download. It's a software download on every computer on the planet. Poof, you have the largest computing network in the world. You have the fastest broadband system for every country of the world. Yes, data is a game changer, but it's such a big disruptor that they don't allow it to be traded on in the United States of America. You can get it on SimpleSwap, if you can get on SimpleSwap. But yeah, it's too big. It's one of the it's like Veritasium, peer-to-peer transactions. No need for the New York Stock Exchange and the middlemen who steal your money. No high frequency trading. It's too big. So they hold it back, they suppress it. But I'm a long-term holder. And in cryptos, if you pick the right one, obviously long-term hodling is the way to go. I mean, those of us who have hodled Bitcoin since it was $100, hodled Theta since it was 4 cents, hodled silver since it was $4. The only way to win this game, there's a lot of people going to try to shake you out of your asset. Hodlers win, ultimately in the end. So that's my story today. You want more info, go to roadtoroot.com. Lots of great stuff on the private road. I'll be talking to Jenny again tomorrow. Oh, my God, so much to talk about. The last discussion, we figured out who Satoshi was. I got him right here. There's a few people have figured it out now, but it's a combination of 4 guys that I know of, that I've tracked. And we talk about it in this discussion on the private road at roadtoroota.com. And if you sign up for the 1-year subscription, you get the Silver Ruta coin, the coolest coin ever made. And oh, by the way, this will pay for your subscription over time. I'm not going to say in multiples, but I'm going to say at least 1 year's. But yeah, in the long term, multiple times over. Because the unbacked fiat system is not long for this world. Keep an eye on when the United States joins into this World War III that they're planning. That's most likely the time for the chaos in the monetary system, the shutdown of markets, and everything to just go sideways. That's why you have to keep your assets in your own possession. No other reason than that, other than third-party risk. Just ask the people at FTX. They made the massive #1 mistake is having someone else hold your cryptocurrencies, holding your standalone asset. Just a huge, massive mistake for anybody who had cryptos in there. I learned the hard way with Mt. Gox. I had 1 Bitcoin back there in Mt. Gox. I don't think I'll ever get anything back. I heard they're starting to give away money and stuff like that. I think I missed so many deadlines now. And the amount of money they've siphoned off to suppress the price of cryptos, of Bitcoin, is staggering. Yes, of course, the United States was involved with the trustee of Mt. Gox to sell off Bitcoin at the worst time possible. I just don't want to. I choose not to participate in that. I got my lawn chair. I'm sitting on the sidelines. Hope you guys are too. This is Bix. I'll talk to you later.